Hey guys, today I wanted to talk about anxiety and some of my experiences with anxiety. Up until about a couple of years ago, I had debilitating anxiety attacks and I worried all the time. Today I still have anxiety, but it's not nearly as bad. Last month I was at a work meeting which included other departments, and these work meetings always start up with welcome and recognition. My boss wanted to recognize me for some of the work I was doing, and he asked me to stand up in front of the group, which includes other departments. And I stood up and I was really nervous, and then my coworker said, "Oh, you're famous now." And he jokingly said that, and you know, I got embarrassed, and days later I was still thinking about it. It just stayed with me. I used to get panic attacks that started back in 2006, and they got really bad around 2009 at the same time I started volunteering for a local nonprofit. It wasn't until 2012 that I started taking anti-akathisia medication that resolved my anxiety attacks. Today I still have pretty bad anxiety. I fear things like standing up in front of a group, even when it's a meeting with just my department only. I still get really nervous. My boss is always saying things to me like, you can't work 18 hours for the rest of your life. I work for a nonprofit, and if I were to go back to school to become a licensed professional counselor, I would only make a few dollars an hour more. And when you factored in student loans that had to be paid, it would work out to just about $2,000 extra a year. My supervisor says not to think of going back to school as another student loan, but to think of it as a investment in yourself. Partly because of my anxiety, I don't want to be anybody's supervisor or lead work groups. I just want to do my job and go home, and that's all I want out of work. In early 2008, I was brought to the hospital by the police, and they put me on medication and sent me out the door with an outpatient psychiatrist and social worker. I wasn't working, and I moved back in with my mom to get my life back in order. And a couple months later, I started to feel a lot better. And by the time summer came around, I felt as good as I've ever felt in the past 10 years. One of the first things I did after I got out of the hospital and started to feel better was apply to school and go back to school. One of the first classes I took was a public speaking class, and I did really well. It wasn't until that winter that my anxiety sort of got the best of me, and I started to worry about all the crazy things I said in the past 10 years and all the things I did, and that never really went away. If I say something funny at work, I regret it, and it plagues me, and it could be like a CBT issue, kind of behavioral therapy, whereas just my thought process needs to be corrected. But I'm kind of struggling with that right now. I still say weird things, and I still look back at them. So that's it for today. Thanks for listening, and have a great week.